Okay, it's the 2007 Oscar nominees for Best Animated Film. So what do we have this year? Well, the nominees were Ratatouille, Persepolis, and Surf's Up. I might be mispronouncing that second one, and if I am, I'm sorry. Only 3 nominees this year. Again, I think that happened in 2008, so here's the thing. I'm not surprised that Ratatouille won, and I agree with this. This was a film that I just didn't like at first. It actually took me a while before I realized what this film was trying to do. And I'll talk about it just for a little bit. But basically, you've seen the story done before where apparently the mice sort of live in their own little world and the humans live in their own little world. And there's very little interaction thereof. If you've seen a story like Cinderella, there actually is a lot of interaction. But a lot of times the mice kind of have their own little world, like, say, an American Tale or something like that. And the humans just don't really see this, even though the mice are wearing clothes and stuff like that. Here we actually see a rat actually interact with a human in such a way that they actually can help out each other. But the world is simply not ready for this. And actually, I believe that's what this film is trying to do. The fact that the world is simply not ready for this, but change happens slowly. And I think that's what this film is really trying to say. And for that, it took me several watches before I realized what this film is really trying to do, which means it is really deep. So, Persepolis, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, or Persepolis, yeah. I've not seen, I've read the graphic novel that inspired it. They must have done a good job if this thing got the Oscar nomination. And it's totally black and white, I believe. So there might be hints of color in it, who knows. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a story about an Iranian woman. So yeah, and gosh, I wish I could remember more about the graphic novel. Anyway, now Surf's Up is one of those films that I have to admit, I guess it deserves a nomination, but that might be just merely for lack of options. I will have to say that this story could have bombed, but I actually think what saves it is its mockumentary style. The fact that it's done like it's a reality show. I think this actually saves the film. This feels like a film that might have been a different script when it was first initially pitched, and which was just basically your basic sports movie script. The fact that it does and goes into this kind of levels, I actually think is kind of interesting. It's a conceit that actually sold me on the film, and I think I remember, I think we bought this for $3 and just was going to give it as a Christmas present. I remember just sitting down with the kids and watching and just thinking oh, this probably is going to suck, and actually being drawn into this film surprised me a lot. There's something that I think should have been nominated, and I'm going to bring this up now. Meet the Robinsons was another Disney film that came out this year. Where is it? This film is a great animated film. I don't know if I can say it's one of the best animated films ever made because there are so many good ones. But I'd say for a top 100, it would definitely be up there. And this film really got shelved. I really felt like this is one of those Disney films that they just kind of put out and then they just kind of expect, I don't know, word of mouth to save it or something like that. A lot of people say Disney really messes up its marketing when it comes to its animated films. And I agree. I think I've seen a lot of commercials for Disney films that actually make me not want to see the film after I've watched the commercial. That's all I'm going to have to say. Meet the Robinsons deals with time travel, but it also deals with this idea that maybe your life might not amount to anything and you're scared. And I really think this film has a lot to say. It is done so well, and I love its style. I love its depiction of the future, and it's awesome. This film is great, and it makes me feel good every time I watch it. Love it. So, in the meantime, DreamWorks had an interesting year. They had B-Movie, which some people call D-Movie, and there's a lot of people that, I don't know, there's a lot of people that really love B-Movie, and there's a lot of people that really hate it. I'm really one of those that really hates it, because, okay, maybe I don't really hate it. I've seen it a few times, and I see what the film is trying to do, but it feels like a pitch that it's that just kind of, they didn't really know what to do from there. And I'm not really satisfied with how this film kind of works and not works. Shrek the Third also came out this year, which is easily the worst Shrek film ever made, unless the 5th one that they're planning to make is even worse than this. And Yeah, this film is just bad, and DreamWorks just had a hard year with this one. It made a lot of money though, so hey. So what didn't happen this year was Beowulf, and this is another one of those mocap films. Which was weird because I remember seeing the trailer for this and I actually thought it was a live action film. It actually took me like, I think maybe after the trailer was over before I realized, oh, this is one of those type of films, like the Polar Express or something like that. I did see this one and I didn't like it. I felt like this felt like it really should have been an R-rated film, but it didn't get the R rating, and so they had to kind of make it PG and stuff like that. And I felt like somebody really wants to make this computer animated R-rated film, which only Sausage Party has was able to really succeed at that. Although I'm sure there's other CG films that maybe I don't know about that probably have this or whatever. Yeah, I know there's some that I don't know about that are more than R-rated, but I don't want to talk about those. They might not be Oscar worthy. Anyway, so let's talk about TMNT. Yes, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had that one great film that came out in this decade, and they had this mediocre one that came out in this decade. And I will admit, I did see this one. I think it is actually more supposed to... I've seen people analyze this thing, and they say it's more supposed to be just... It was probably originally pitched as just like a multi-story arc for that television show that used to be on. And they just sort of made a whole movie out of it. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is one of those franchises that I swear has been done and redone so many times. And it's not that old. And it's not like Superman or Batman, which are almost turning 100. But this one is like less than 50 years old, and we're still rebooting this thing. Granted, the last reboot was pretty good. So, hey, if you haven't seen Mutant Mayhem, see it. But this one, I don't think it deserves an Oscar. Now, the real question is, why was the Simpsons movie not nominated? Maybe it's a TV show. I don't know if there's a criteria on this, that you can't take a movie that's based off a TV show and nominate it. You should have with the Simpsons movie. The Simpsons movie is absolutely great and phenomenal, and I love watching it, and I swear the jokes, every joke in it lands, and it's one of those just great films. Probably the best work of The Simpsons since, well, the early 90s, really, because, yeah, I know, because the show is that old, and hey. But the film was worth its nomination. Don't know why I didn't get it, but hey. Anyway, let's talk about 2006 next time with the best Oscar animated films and their nominees. This is Mark Rawlinson of Geek Church, signing off.